welcome back to my channel. I think I need to be back on YouTube. So I wanted to talk to you today about how your focus when you're looking at food, the approach you have with food, why you're choosing the foods that you have, or why you're choosing the foods that you're choosing, why you're not choosing other foods because you're choosing other foods on purpose, is affecting your ability to have the body that you want. This is not just about losing weight. When you are experiencing a body that feels not like yourself, doesn't look like yourself, your stomach is bloated a lot, you feel inflamed, okay? I know what it's like. I was there post IVF. It made my body go to shit. But I got it back. I got my body back because I stopped looking at food the way that I used to the first time I wanted to lose weight, okay? So let me just tell you the end and then we'll go backwards and explain more. The answer you're looking for is to stop looking at food through this lens of calories. A number value cannot translate to your organs, to your cells, where the actual root of your body feeling overweight, inflamed actually is, okay? So weight loss is not separate than health, but you're looking at it that way, and that's why it feels hard. That's why it feels like you're stagnant or stuck or bloated or you have hormone imbalances, because weight loss can't address a hormone imbalance. How can it do that? How can eating 500 less calories a day or averaging 1,000 calorie deficit in a week or averaging 3,500 calories a week to equal a 1 pound weight reduction per week equal you also not having shit symptoms during your cycle, not screaming at your kids because you're so irritable and moody because your nerves are literally inflamed? That's part of the reason that hormones are off, okay? So it can't do that. But I made a post about this, I don't remember when, but I was asking this question. I'll ask it to you guys. Are you expected to eat a certain way to have healthy hormones or to have health or to have a healthy gut or to have a flat stomach, and also to eat a certain other way to be able to lose the weight that you want? I think no. I think, what are you going to do? Do one in the morning and one in the afternoon? No. That's why you have to integrate. You have to integrate that. And the way that you integrate that to be able to get everything you want, not just release extra weight, but yes, release inflammation, release the puffiness, release the pain, the symptoms, the actual hormone imbalance itself will dissolve when you can give your body what it's been asking you for. So they're not separate. And it's true that you can lose weight and have hormones off, but doesn't that suck? And isn't it harder? And do you want your hormones to be off? And do you want all the side effects of having your hormones be off? And do you want to believe that you need to go get a bazillion tests and take a bazillion supplements to like piecemeal yourself back together like a patchwork quilt? You don't need to do that. You need to look at your body from a holistic perspective. That's what I had to learn after having all the IVF drugs and meds in my body. And it wasn't to say like I already didn't have the root issues happening. Of course I did. That's why I couldn't get pregnant, because my organs were struggling so intensely and I had too many chemicals in my body. And that's the same things that are behind what you are experiencing now, why you feel like not yourself after having kids or in the middle of having kids, or you still want to have kids and you're still having hormone imbalance and inflamed. Like you don't feel like this is not my body. That's how I felt, and that's how I know this. You have to stop looking at food as numbers. Food is not just numbers. Food is intelligent. Well, some is dumb, but some is intelligent. So you want to be able to look at your diet through this lens of like, what am I doing here? Like, how is this going to solve my actual problems? Let's say you have 10, 20 plus pounds you want to lose. You want to fit in the jeans in your closet. Like, I know. And you just don't feel like yourself. Like you have mood swings and crazy rage during your period. I never had that. I just had like the traditional like, oh, I feel gross, my stomach is cramping symptoms when I initially got my cycle back. Now I don't have any symptoms at all. But if you have any of that happening and you have a weight loss goal, one part of this that you have to recognize is that I'm certain you don't want to keep those symptoms activated. If you only pursue weight loss through eat less or reduce calories, then can you lose weight? Yeah, but you are not going to do it in the most straightforward, easiest route, path of least resistance, and it's up to chance whether your hormone issues get resolved. And I'm going to bet there's a high chance that they don't. And I'll tell you why. It's because the mechanisms and habits and tips and tricks of lose weight, eat less calories, or get it under control and tighten it in directly conflict most of the time with how health happens in the body. Okay, so let me explain with a few examples. When you're using a weight loss approach that's traditional, and I used to use this too back in the day, like 20 years ago when I lost weight after college, eating less. So how do you achieve that? Typically, you eat whole foods or more nutrient dense foods, which is positive, and you have a focus on foods that keep you feeling full, such as protein. This can be plant protein, this can be animal protein, it doesn't matter, but typically most people are not vegan or fully plant-based. And again, like there's nothing against any certain kind of diet, but you guys, you have to see how ingredient by ingredient this is affecting your chemistry and your body's ability to move or not move out of the state of being inflamed. So when you have a caloric deficit like desire or goal, and you use protein as a tool to get you there, it's conflicting with your hormone imbalance. It's conflicting because one aspect of you having this imbalanced, inflamed state is coming from the organs of your body that create hormones in the first place. That is your adrenal glands, okay? So your adrenals could be overactive, underactive, one could be up, one could be normal, one could be low. They can flip-flop. They create your hormones, and they are what is responsible for how you respond to stress. All kinds of stress, positive stress, exercise stress, your kid screaming stress, hate your job stress, it's cold out, it's hot out, whatever, okay? So in order, this is one piece of how you eliminate these symptoms without HRT, without injections, peptides, whatever the hell. Okay. Naturally, I did it. Okay. I did it. My clients do it because you can, because the body works. It doesn't want to be creating imbalance. It wants to be balanced. So the way, one necessary component, it's like a puzzle, how you see what's going on with your, or I see what's going on with your symptoms. And then I know how it, like the system works internally and then where the flares are. Okay. So we have to re-nourish the adrenal glands, because when you have symptoms such as mood swings, symptoms such as PMS, cramping, stomach aches around your cycle or all the time, you have organs that are not nourished at a cellular level. How do I know that? Because if they were, when they are, they self-create hormones that are balanced. They self-soothe. They have what they need, and they don't have the mechanism to push out cortisol and adrenaline and stress hormones. The only reason not the only reason, but one major reason they do that is because they have nothing to give. And do you want to know why they have nothing to give? Because your adrenal glands run on glucose from carbohydrates. This is the clash, okay? So you want to lose weight, but you have hormones off, puffiness, inflammation. So you're like, okay, great. I'm going to focus on protein to reduce calories. And over here, your body is screaming, I'm starving. I'm starving. You could be eating too many calories and these organs will be starving. You want to know why? Because you're not feeding them what they need. There's like a lack of communication. Your diet doesn't translate to health. Your diet isn't translating to balanced hormones because you're focusing on protein. Most of the time, almost every, I can say, unless they're plant-based, every single client, even plant-based, you're putting protein at your first meal of the day. That's how focused you are on it. It's usually in the focus of every meal. When it's the focus of every meal, you are lacking focus in what it needs, okay? It runs on carbs from plants. It has to have an adequate amount on a day-to-day basis to be able to do its jobs with overflow energy, meaning it's not going to struggle to do what it's designed to do. This area of your body is designed to create balanced hormones for you and to help you regulate stress response. And so when you focus on protein, there is not a focus on nourishment of the cellular level health of the adrenals, because the only thing that they have to have is carbohydrates that contain glucose. So I'm not talking about eat Wonder Bread and toast and bagels. I'm talking about plants that are colorful and vibrant and alive, okay? They have to have that. If they don't have that, you could be eating too much and gaining weight. You probably are in that situation. They still are starving. They're still starving. That's why you're so confused and pissed, because they don't have what they need. You're giving them stuff, but they're like, no, pass. And so it just adds up and accumulates in your lymph and in your liver. It's like stored extra waste because it's non-useful energy choices. And so you have to be able to change and audit and edit your diet to be able to give to them the foods they need and want from you. And that is scary for you because you're afraid to eat more carbs. You've been brainwashed. I was too. You think fruit is scary, fruit is sugar, fruit causes blood sugar imbalances, etc., etc. But without these food groups, plants, and fruit especially, you are not going to be able to bring them back to life to the place where you systemically can dissolve the complete issue. If you want the symptoms to completely dissolve, you have to go to the core, to the root, which is the entire organs. And that's one aspect of hormone imbalance. That's one part of your body. It's a complete system, okay? And so that's what it's not hard for me to see because I've been through this and doing this for so long. But still today, I'm thin, I'm lean, I'm naturally thin and lean, and I don't think about calories and I don't think about food that way. I think about it through this dominant lens of health. What does my body need? What does my body need? When I give it what it needs, I don't have inflammation. I don't have hormone imbalances that would make it hard to feel good, that would make it hard to have a cycle, that would make it hard to have energy during my cycle or not be a crab or bitch. You know, it's how they need fuel, the right fuel that they need. And so often, because we haven't been taught how our bodies work, how food works, how they work together to create this like peaceful state where we don't have diseases. We don't have things that just happen when you turn 40. That's a lie. That is not true at all, okay? I'm 46, you guys. I feel really, really good. I feel better than before IVF. I feel better than in my 20s. I don't have to work so hard. I don't try so hard. I don't use my fitness pal. I don't track calories because I'm so in tune with what my organs want and need. Like this literally healed my hormones to the point where it reversed infertility. Okay. It's the exact same organs that create hormones that get you pregnant, that keep you healthy after kids or at any age and keep you with the ability to feel good, not be inflamed, not have bloating, and to lose weight, stay at the weight that you want. You regulate yourself through the foods that the body runs on. Okay. So the focus on a calorie number and then that leading in this habit or behavior with you shopping for high protein coffee, high protein bars, high protein yogurt. All of it tells me beep, beep, you don't understand what you need. You don't understand what you need, and that is why you're stuck. And it's you're not going to be stuck once you understand the shift that's required. This is the exact same shift an approach that I took that allowed me to have Dash. He's sitting over there having his after school snack. I made him put headphones on for his TV time because I wanted to do this video for you. So I quit focusing on having a baby. I was like, no, okay? Because one, I felt like crap in my body. I was so inflamed. I had gained weight. I was so moody, so emotional. I was like, I'm done not having what I want. Like, this is garbage. Okay? I'm going to have it. And so I was like, okay, well, obviously, like, fertility is confusing at the moment. So I'm going to focus on getting my body back. And that's when I learned everything that I've learned today. And it took me years to understand it fully, and to really break up with the mentality that I was originally rooted in, which was like calories and exercise and kind of like more surface level weight loss management tips. And it's not to say like that calories aren't relevant. They are, but that you don't need them, but you can learn from them. But to have health, to have glowing skin, to feel full of energy in your 40s, 50s, etc., to be able to stay healthy first and then let the weight come off in the most natural way, it doesn't even take as long this way because you are aligned with organs flourishing because they're nourished. Okay? It's hard when you are like trying to squeeze work out of them, but they don't get the fuel they actually need. And so what I was saying before was you can leave it up to chance, meaning if you don't understand the inner workings of your body and you just choose foods that are healthy and whole foods, but less calories of them, you're not going to guarantee that you're going to sustain your organs. They're going to fuel your adrenals, okay? So fueling your adrenals is one piece of having balanced hormones. There's many pieces. You also need to have all the ingredients coming in be appropriate to have digestion on par, because your digestive system is how the food gets to your adrenals. And when you're bloated, that's a clear sign. Or you have food intolerances, you can't tolerate gluten or other things like that. That's a sign that your gut is struggling, okay? And so if it's struggling there, it's also not maximized and optimized at being able to relay and actually get the right ingredients to your adrenals once you know what those are and once you can shift your approach to health and weight loss through this holistic approach. And so the answer is going to be plants first, plant focused, because your adrenals run on them. Also, hint, PS, every organ of your body runs on them. Every single one. And so it's been really freeing for me to not, people ask me on my TikToks all the time, like, do you focus on protein? Do you eat protein? I don't focus on it. Do I eat it? Yes, I can eat what I want to eat, but I eat a plant-focused diet because it's how my body works and it's how your body works too. Okay, so if you learned anything from this video, let me know. Let me know what questions you have, and if you're interested in working with me, my program Get Your Body Back is available for enrollment at the links below. You get to work with me as you move through this like education of understanding your body, probably for the first time, but finding your own way to do food, to do health first, and then let your body come back to life and obviously lose the weight that you want in the process. It's not to say you don't have to have proper habits and discipline and the right mentality to release extra weight, but we're not going to bypass our organs and we're not going to bypass health. We want everything. We want to dissolve any hormone imbalance. We want to dissolve the root of inflammation. And I want you to be able to feel amazing every day and to know you're going to feel amazing when you wake up. I feel good every single day, and it's not to chance, okay? So I'll talk to you next time.